With such a big field in the Grand National and so many opinions floating around in this big race, why not have another part added onto it? My thoughts exactly. Your thoughts exactly, please, on Vintage Star, Sandy Castle. As I said, Hemmings, you know, he had a nice winner a few years back, didn't he, as an owner, but got the Foxtrot next to his name in the most recent form, and you don't want to see that, do you, for horses jumping around national fences?
It's actually very surprising that he fell at the festival, actually, because he's actually a very good jumper. He actually fell in the Bayliss and Harding, and it was at the 5th, and it was actually quite a nasty fall. He fell quite awkwardly, and you know when a horse sort of crumples and then sort of springs back up, wasn't a pretty fall at all. He actually finished 6th in the Welsh Grand National, and that was off a mark of 139. He's only an 8-year-old, and he's now off a mark of 144. And I know it sounds silly, I know he's 8, but he might lack experience for a race like this. He's currently 40 to 1 with the bookies, and he's 80 to 1 on the exchanges. Sue Smith obviously knows how to get a horse ready for this race. Not quite sure. I can't quite pin this horse at the moment. It's one of them ones I just can't quite decide.
I'm expecting the old Tremble hand then, or
certainly
Trembles.
I think he's got a bit of a chance.
Oh, he's got. But I didn't know if we were doing this evening. One of those. I'm not sure exactly what that qualifies as. I'll say a 6 out of 10. Billy's given the chances of Vintage Star there. Now, one that I do like, and I actually back live on the show a few weeks back, was Chancellor Roy. I think this horse will travel all the time. Sandy is huffing and puffing, shaking his head, and he's told me so many times that this horse does not stay 4 miles 3. But Chancellor Roy, Billy, I'll give you a chance to explain what you think about this horse.
Yeah, I mean, on the positive side, he was, I think, was second in the 2012 Topham, which I believe is 2 miles 6 furlongs, so it's a lesser trip. He didn't run so well last year in the same race, but he came out in December and he beat Baby Run over these fences in the December meeting. That experience is really valuable, and he obviously enjoys it here. And to me, I know it sounds crazy to say you shouldn't worry about stamina in the Grand National, but if he comes out and he runs to form and he jumps like he can and he enjoys himself, he may well play a role, and the stamina wouldn't put me off him at a price. So
yeah, and I mean the last time out when it was behind O'Fallon's boy, Manny Claus's Chamberton race there, he didn't stop going, he didn't stop jumping, he kept on going there, and if I can have a vote on this one, and we can do it all the time, I'm going to have a vote on this. But if we can all show, thumbs up.
Stan, I'll tell you what, Tom.
Sorry.
3 against.
So
you've just been picking your nits for the last 5 minutes.
I was trying to look at what price.
Hold on.
3 miles to wherever it was he won over the fences that day is the limit of his stamina, complete limit of his stamina, and he was lucky to hold on for Baby Run in the end. I backed him that day, so I like the horse, but he just will not stay this trip, and he's a place lay for me.
Well, I disagree. I saw his hooves absolutely melting into the turf on that occasion, and with better ground, I think he's getting the trip and he jumps for fun. Chancellor Roy has a chance in the Grand National, if you ask me. If you believe in Sandy's thoughts, he certainly doesn't. Hawke's Point now. Hawke's Point has certainly got a chance. There's been a little bit of talk about this one. I don't know why I'm not going to use it. It's Jono, Hawke's Point. Give us an insight into Hawke's Point, and I can give the viewers then an insight into what competition we're running.
Right, well, this horse ran in the national trial, came 6th, which I don't think was a particularly good run. And it was a 46 length 6, so like here, for me, I don't know, I don't think that was a particularly great one. However, in the Welsh National, which was won by Mountainous, who we were talking about before, he came 2nd by a head, and that was a great one, and I remember that race well. And, any horse that wins that race, as you said before, has to be a stayer, mainly because Chepstow is heavy all year round, even if there's a heat wave.
Which there's never a heat wave at Chepstow. But
I mean, when it comes to Aintree, he's had one run there as a novice hurdler in the Sefton Hurdle and didn't run too badly. However, I don't know. I'm not certain it's going to be suited by this. I'm in two minds. I'm one of those, you know.
You're in two minds.
He's off a career high mark, I might add, you know, and it's going to be no easy task for him. But Nichols knows what he's doing. Famous colours, Mr. Roach.
Okay,
and,
well, there's only another
flagship colours.
There's only another 2 horses for you to sum up that are lower down in the weights. I'm still waiting for your golden ticket for the Grand National. But if we can have a show of hands, then for Hawke's Point. possibly in with a chance is what we're saying. Possibly in with a chance. Well, if you think Hawke's Point is possibly in with a chance, we've got a competition running on. If you access it via BetRacingNation.com or simply retweet and follow us on Twitter with the handle @BetRacingNation. Should this Hawke's Point finish in the top 4 of the Grand National, which the panel think it may have a chance of doing, you could win a luxury trip away for the weekend to Hawke's Point in Cornwall, St Ives this is, to stay in a 5-star luxury apartment worth up to 590 quid. So why not? Free to enter. Have a punt on that, as well as the horse in money terms, because it might have a chance, and who knows, you could be sitting on a sunny beach in late September, I believe, that we're offering those 5-star apartments. Let's move on to the next one. It is Cruise Lynn, Donald McCain again, I believe. You know, we've said he's got, you know, like his father Ginger, some kind of family form and cracking form in the race, but is this one to back Cruise Lynn in? Sorry,
he's been given a mark of 143. He's only a 7-year-old that has only gone over 3 miles only once, so it's a big ask.
It's a big question mark as well then, is it?
I don't think he's going to line up in the race. He's 66 to 1 with the bookmakers, 350 to 1 plus on the exchanges. I just don't think he's going to run.
So when we're looking at horses that are currently out of the weights, as I mentioned, Shakalaka Boom Boom, the Henderson entry, is this one that Nicky's keeping his eye on that might be dropped out? So Shakalaka Boom Boom gets a chance. You think he's a likely drop out of the race?
It's quite exposed, Shakalaka Boom Boom, but I imagine Nicky would be delighted to get him into the race.
Yeah.
It's very difficult. We're doing this a week and a bit early, so we don't quite know how it's going to pan out.
No. We
can only give our viewers what we can see at this point in time.
Yeah. Well, let's give them what they want to see, and that's a decision, obviously, from the panel on this one. Cruise Lynn in, down. Well, that's a very decisive down. I'm going to say down as well, just on what they've said. Cruise Lynn negative, probably won't run, is what the panel are mainly saying here. Pinot de Rey is the next one on my list. Very interesting runner, actually, this one, an 11-year-old. Billy, you're a little bit older than 11, thankfully have a bit of knowledge for that reason, but Pinot de Rey in the Grand National for you?
Yes, indeed, Tom. He's trained by Dr. Richard Newland. He's a really interesting trainer. He does very, very well. He's a highly respected and skilled trainer. You can get a horse to, improve and run through the handicaps and keep finding. This one joined him from Ireland, and he's had a really good winter, really. He's kept his form well. He's ran well over hurdles, staying hurdles, over fences. He's on a high enough mark now, but he's showing no signs that it's beyond him. And again, I've said this before, you could just see him running a big race. If he enjoys himself out here, it's easy to see why he's quite popular in the market. He is one of the relative market leaders.
And you're saying does well for the doctor, or the doctor does well to be a trainer as well as a doctor?
Yeah, indeed. I mean, he did fall. I just mentioned he fell at the 8th here in December, so the horse has got to obviously leave that behind.
Yeah.
Sometimes a horse will learn from that, sometimes it won't, but not without a chance.
So you're sounding quite perky in your chances of Pinot de Rey. The other guys on the panel, are we up or down or somewhere in between for this? Sandy Castle's giving up Pinot de Rey. No, not for him. Golan Way, again interesting, has dribs and drabs of form. There's a couple of ones in there. There's a couple of an unseated, a refused to race.
Yep.
Maybe a quirky horse, is he, Jono?
Well, he's more than a quirky horse, because 4 runs ago he was running over 2 miles at Goodwood on the flat. I mean, that's just bizarre. I mean, 4 runs ago on the flat, and now he's running in the Grand National. I mean, it seems completely bizarre to me. But having said this, anyone that doubted him, before, then, I mean, he's just won over 3 miles 2 furlongs at Warwick, 14 lengths, I might add, and runs off the same mark in the National than he did that day.
So that was a Hunter Chase, wasn't it?
Sorry?
It was a Hunter Chase, wasn't it?
Yes. Oh, actually, yeah, you're right. Actually, no, you are correct. I mean,
it's just a weird one, isn't it?
How do you assess a horse? I mean, how do you assess a horse that, 1 minute he's running in chases over fences, and then he's running, on the flat? I might add that horses that started off as flat horses don't have a particularly good record in the National.
In the National, no, but generally I always take the flat horses to find out the plodders at the end of the day, mate.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to go to Sandy. I'm going to extend this for 30 seconds on this horse, the curious case of Golan Way.
Yeah.
Can you explain?
I know Golan Way quite well, because I had a horse with Sheena West who used to train Golan Way. And one thing she said to me one afternoon at Pumpton, she goes, this horse doesn't actually want to jump fences, but the owners persist that they take it chasing. So it's pretty much sums that up, that they're now taking it over the national fences, and Sheena said to me he prefers hurdles, but he doesn't actually like going over fences, and he's done well to win over. His ability got him through over fences.
Well, so he won't be a happy horse, but will he still be a winner?
If you saw, before he won last time at Warwick,
Yeah.
he was favourite in the 100 chase for the first time for Tim Vaughan, and he actually banked the fence.
Yeah, completely. So you can't do that at the Grand National and get away with it. I take it as a
Of
thumbs
course.
down for you. I've got to move on.
Sorry.
I've got to know. But is it a thumbs down on this
I
one?
love the horse, but neither
Sandy
fences.
will explain more
I'm
on
happy
Twitter
at
from
Goodwood
here.
in the
Down,
sun
down.
as well, so it's a thumbs
Mix
up
it
for me.
down. Forget about it. Forget about Golan Way. The last one we're going to cover before we go into the final part is our old friend Twirling Magnet Sandy, and this is we got to rattle through this because you had a right go on Golan Way, so quickly Twirling Magnet.
Sorry about that. What I liked about this horse was the John Joe O'Neill quote after his win at Cheltenham in October over 3 miles in a novice chase. He said that Twirling Magnet is a nice horse on a good day, but the trouble is he has a lot of bad days.
Okay, so that's
a quote and a half.
He's had a couple of wind operations in the past. He does like good grounds. He unseated in the rider in the Kim Muir at the festival. He's 241 at the exchanges. I'm not sure he's going to run. He's officially rated 140, but he's given him up 142 for this race. So again, he's not well in.
So overall, just
I like the horse, but not in the national.
Not in the national, and for the rest, and for the others here quickly. Middle of the road and down from Sandy. The amount of time Sandy's had his thumb down tonight, it's absolutely countless. But maybe in the last 3 runners, which will bring to you after the break, we may have a few more thumbs up.